How many of you, fellow Toastmasters, would like to guarantee that your very next speech will be a positively memorable experience for both you and your audience? Well, then I'm truly excited about having the opportunity to share with you my 3-step program on how to give a knockout speech every single time. I choose to refer to these steps as the 3 P's of quality speech giving: preparation, practice, and performance. The first P is preparation. Now, most speeches are born from a single interesting topic or idea. Once you've settled on a topic, the next item on your agenda will be to come up with an opening that will get your audience's attention. There are a few ways you can accomplish this. One is by using a humorous story or a joke in your speech opening. Another is to use a question in your opening. Now, once you've got your opening set, you want to limit the body of your speech to 3 main ideas. This will help you to achieve a logical flow of events throughout your speech. And then finally, under the first P, preparation, you want to come up with a conclusion which does a nice job of wrapping up your speech. So in summarizing, the first P, preparation, is really the act of putting your pen to paper and writing your speech. And the first P, preparation, should take up roughly 20% of your total speech giving time and energy expenditure. Now on to the second P, practice. I've often heard people say that practice makes perfect. Nothing could be more true in my opinion. Practice, the second P, starts with reading your speech out loud for the very first time. Now this should lend itself to some editing. And in my opinion, there are really 2 reasons to edit your speech. The first example is, let's say you've been given 7 minutes to speak at your Toastmasters Club meeting, but you now find yourself with 12 minutes of written material in front of you. Well, if that's the case, something's got to go. The second reason to edit your speech is to make it just right for who you are as a speaker. You might have the perfect sentence on paper, but when you go to read it out loud, it's not as phonetically pleasing as you thought it would be, or it's not just right for who you are as a speaker. So now is the time to make that change as well. Once you've got your editing complete, then it's time to move on to memorizing your opening and your closing. In fact, you should memorize both the opening and the closing to such a degree that you could say them forwards, backwards, sideways, or even if someone woke you up in a dead sleep in the middle of the night. Once you've got your opening and your closing down, now it's time to go back and practice your whole speech in its entirety once again. Now, a very valuable rule of thumb that I've lived by for the last 15 years as a member of Toastmasters is to try to give myself 2 weeks, 10 to 14 day period, to practice my speech once in the morning and once in the evening before I have to give it to my intended audience. If you do this, using notes will truly be a thing of the past. Other ideas on the second P, practice, are to practice in front of a mirror, or find yourself a captive audience, such as a dog, a cat, or a small baby. If none of those are available to you, even though it sounds a bit silly, you can line up a few stuffed animals in front of you and they can be your audience. Trust me, it works. I've done it. So you can perfect your vocal variety, your eye contact, your gestures, your body language as you continue to practice, practice, practice. Now, the ancient Chinese had a saying called "wee woo wee." The philosophy of "wee woo wee" states that the doer knows the task at hand so incredibly well that it just simply flows from him without any conscious effort whatsoever. Therefore, the singer becomes the song, the dancer becomes the dance, and in our case, fellow Toastmasters, the speaker becomes the speech, or the speaker becomes one with the speech. Therefore, the second P, practice, can best be summarized in such a way that it should be your goal to practice your speech, to rehearse your speech so much over a 10 to 14 day period that it just simply flows from your lips. Wee woo wee, fellow Toastmasters. And practice, the second P, should take up a good 70 to 75% of your total speech giving time and energy expenditure. Last but not least is our third and final P, performance. Now performance, if you put your time in on the second P, practice, is really the easy part, taking up as little as 5 to 10% of your total speech giving time and energy. If this is a normal Toastmasters Club speech, there's really nothing more for me to say under the third P, performance. Simply stroll to the lectern and wow us with your quality speech. If, on the other hand, you'll be giving this speech in an unfamiliar environment, such as at a Toastmasters division contest, or an outside speaking engagement like a Kiwanis Club or a Rotary Club, or maybe you don't know a lot of the people, you've never been in the room before, then what I would recommend is show up plenty early for your speaking engagement. This will allow you to survey the room, get to know the acoustics of the room, familiarize yourself with the unfamiliar environment. By doing this, it will help you to offset any potential nervousness during your performance. It is my hope, fellow Toastmasters, that the 3 P's of quality speech giving, preparation, practice, and performance, will help to make all of your future speeches into positively memorable experiences, both in Toastmasters and beyond.